얘는 왜 여기 있어? 좀 같이 앉자. 안녕하세요. 저는 콜롬비아 킨디오 지방에 있는 살렌토라는 마을에 있습니다. 전 세계적으로 유명한 콜롬비아의 특산품이라고 하면은 아무래도 코카. 콜롬비아가 세계 3위의 커피 생산지이자 세계 2위의 바나나 수출국이에요. 그리고 커피 농장 대부분이 여기 킨디오를 중심으로 한 6개의 지방에 분포가 돼 있어요. 그래서 오늘 제가 할 것은 커피 농장 탐험입니다. 그럼 바로 가보겠습니다. 참. 콜롬비아의 커피 농장 규모가 11만 헥타르 정도 된다고 합니다. 가족 경영 중심의 소규모 농장들이 대부분인데, 그래서 농장 개수가 한 60만 가구 정도가 된다고 해요. 원래 오늘 할 거는 아무 농가 찾아가서 일일 알바하고 보수를 커피로 받는 그런 컨텐츠를 하고 싶었는데, 제가 생각한 것만큼 스페인어 실력이 안 늘어서 그냥 영어로 해주는 커피 투어 찾아가고 있습니다. Hola. Is it here that coffee farm, coffee tour place?
We have daily 2 coffee tours.
와, 한참 남았네. 아니 이거 길 맞아 이거? 아니 뭐야 이거? 근데 어딜 가는 거야? 아니 그냥 커피 투어 하려고 했는데 왜 이렇게 되는 거야? 아이씨 돌겠네. 아니 이게 길이 아닌가 싶다가도 꼭 이렇게 길을 만들어 놓은 게 있어, 사람 손으로. 약간 포기하지 말고 계속 가라고 얘기하는 그런 것 같아요. 아니 아이씨 이게 뭔데? 이게 뭐야?
Hello,
Hola, buenos días.
Argentina.
Corea. Sí,
Corea.
Corea del Sur.
Hello, welcome, Colombia.
Gracias. Sí.
Va a seguir descendiendo.
So, la derecha.
Ok, vale.
Hasta luego.
Ok, bye.
Bye. 다행히도 사람 다니는 길이 맞긴 했네요. 내가 여길 왜 왔는지 모르겠지만. 아이씨 이게 뭐야? 모르겠다, 그냥 계속 가보자. 오씨 이거 뭐야? 아니 웬 말들이? 내가 어디로 온 건지 모르겠지만은 나쁘진 않네요. 키즈존. 이게 콜롬비아 키즈 카페입니다. 이거 말도 타는 것 같은데? 어우씨 무서워. 왜 이렇게 커? 엄마야.
María, ¿dónde viene?
올라. 오 이거 물도 깨끗하고 좋은데? 온 김에 발이나 담가봐야지. 오우. 오 시원해. 수영이나 한번 해볼까? 수영 한번 하고 났더니 되게 개운해지긴 했는데, 아까 커피 투어가 2시 반에 시작한다고 했거든요. 근데 지금 벌써 1시 반이 넘었습니다. 내가 여길 뭐 하러 왔더라? 죽겠다. 아, 왜 이래 이거. 에이, 예. 나도 좀 쉬자. 이 자식.
Cool, you got everything sorted. Right, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Tim, otherwise known as Don Eduardo. Yeah, the big dog there is Jack.
Jack.
The other sheepdog here is Bonnie.
Pony.
There's Oliver over there, and there's a black one around somewhere. A small black one. Oh, behind you, over there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Pie.
Pie.
Pie, yeah. So we're going to run through the whole process. There's 4 or 5 types of coffee generally, but there's only 2 commercial types of coffee. And your 2 commercial types of coffee, you may have heard of them. They're called Robusta and Arabica. Now, Robusta coffee originally comes from West Africa. Arabica coffee from Ethiopia. Robust in English means strong, so it's a strong plant. So usually they grow it at low level, quite often under 500 meters in altitude. You grow Arabica coffee at altitude, usually 1200 meters to 1600 meters. Above 16 it grows, but it grows a bit slower. You get a little bit less, and they call that high mountain coffee. Most expensive coffee in the world at the moment is coffee called geisha coffee. Now, geisha sounds like Japan, yeah? Actually, it comes originally from the mountain town of Geisha in Ethiopia. Last year, internet auction, the better slopes of geisha coffee, $3,000 a kilo. Now, the biggest coffee producer in the world, by a huge margin, these guys are amazing, Brazil. Brazil produces 1/3 of all of the world's coffee. I know, they're bigger than numbers 2 and 3 and 4 together. And Brazil grows mainly Arabica coffee, a bit of Robusta coffee. Number 2 surprises a lot of people. Number 2 in the world is Vietnam. Vietnam, they produce low quality coffee. So it's mainly Robusta and a bit of Arabica. Robusta is the one with more caffeine and less taste. Now what happened was, after the Vietnam War, the soil was very badly damaged. They were producing Robusta coffee. It was happy. It didn't worry about the soil. Number 3 in the world? Colombia.
Colombia.
Commercially, Colombia only produces Arabica coffee. Not such good quality, but it's cheaper to produce. But the basic problem is Colombia has a 300-year tradition of growing quality coffee. A lot of people don't like the idea of opening the door to a lower quality of coffee. Fall into 2 big categories. You have traditional Arabica coffees, you have modern Arabica coffees, and they haven't. The moderns have been developed in a laboratory. Most varietals of traditional coffee are tall. They can get to 10 meters tall if you leave them long enough. Now, when you get to 10 meters tall, picking the coffee is a problem, yeah? Because they'll lasso the top of a tree with a rope, bend it over almost double, put their foot on the rope, pick the coffee. The good news is they're flexible. They bend a long way. Most of the coffee is harvested in the wet season. You're usually picking coffee in the rain. This is a 3G coffee picking basket. There's a little hole here and a little hole here. See the 2 little holes? There are varietals of coffee that produce red coffee cherries. There's varietals that produce yellow. Wikipedia tells me it's orange and pink. I've never seen orange or pink, but it's on Wikipedia. It must be true, right? Everything on the internet is always true. So I'll take you. Okay, that's a coffee cherry, yeah? If I take the coffee cherry and I'll give it a little squeeze.
Oh yes. Oh.
Okay, 2 coffee beans.
2
inside.
coffee beans.
Oh, yeah?
So everything has 2 coffee beans?
No.
Or it's
95% of the time you get 2 beans inside. 4% of the time only 1 bean gets fertilized, and those are called pea berries. 1% of the time you get 3 beans inside. Now, those 3 beans, they're not interesting or special enough to have a name. That's just coffee. So you'll find coffee experts that tell you pea berry coffee is better, an equal number of experts who say you cannot taste the difference. If you look at these beans here, okay, do you see they look rather wet and slimy? Now if you touch that and have a little taste, but it's sweet, and it's a form of sugar. Once you have a coffee cherry, 3 paths you can go down. You take these beans and you throw them into water. Now you soak them for 12 to 36 hours. All the sugar comes out of the coffee bean into the water, and that gives you what they call washed Arabica coffee. So you take the skin off the coffee, you take these slimy beans and just put them straight into the sun to dry. So you do not wash them. And they end up looking a bit like honey roasted peanuts. And they call that honey processed coffee. If you're really, really lazy, you pick them when they're nice and red, you leave the skin on and you put them straight into the sun to dry. The sugar ferments inside the bean itself. Now they call it naturally processed coffee. Okay? That is a peaberry. You see how round it is in comparison. Flatberry, peaberry. See the difference? This is what they call washed Arabica coffee. This coffee here, this is honey processed coffee. This is naturally processed coffee. If I open this guy up, old-fashioned paper is called parchment or pergamene. If the coffee is the right dryness, it would just flake off. Now do you see? This is modern coffee.
Okay.
This is traditional coffee. Do you see the difference between the two? Modern coffee produces faster, so this has already got some coffee cherries on. Pick the coffee into the basket, yeah?
Yes.
This machine's going to take the skins off the coffee, so you want to come back. Come in, please. Now, see, this coffee was washing. See?
Ah, okay.
It's still
okay.
wet. This coffee is a bit drier. This is honey processed coffee. Switch it on. Hot. That's the friction.
Yes. 이 따뜻하네.
This is the most basic way of roasting coffee there is. We have a made in China gas ring, we have a metal pan, we have green beans, we have a wooden spoon. The darker the roast, the more bitter the coffee. As you roast coffee darker, the beans get bigger in size. They increase in size like popcorn. So what it means is there's more caffeine in a medium roasted coffee than there is in a dark roasted coffee, because there's more coffee in a medium roasted coffee than there is in a dark roasted coffee. Everyone assumes that the coffee like that, the dark roasted coffee, is going to be strong, it's going to be bitter, it's going to have loads of caffeine, and it's going to wake you up. That's all completely wrong. So there's more coffee in a medium roast, more coffee and more caffeine in a cup of medium roasted coffee than there is in a cup of dark roasted coffee. The coffee is going to go through different colours. As we start roasting the coffee, it's going to go a nice yellowy green colour. That's called a blonde roast. After that, it's going to go to a nice tanny colour. That's a light roast. Then it'll go to a nice chocolate colour. That's a medium roast. Then if you leave it in there long enough, it goes shiny black like a dark roast. Somewhere around 200 degrees, 220 degrees is normally when you would. A lower temperature is better than a higher temperature. It takes longer to cook.
I know exactly same smell with this, but I don't know the name in English. 약간 은행 붓는 냄새네.
It's pretty much done. What we'll do is take it out, let it cool down.
So now this is medium roasted.
Medium roasted coffee. I just taken out the ones that haven't roasted. You let it sit for 8 hours to 5 days to degas. That's the carbon dioxide coming out. We'll have some coffee to drink. I always drink my coffee in a glass cup. I do this, so I want you to look at the colour of the coffee. It's going to look more like a tea because this is a medium roasted coffee. Okay? Some people like the taste of the coffee, some people don't. There's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. Okay? It does not need milk and sugar, but have a look at the colour, you see? See, it's much lighter than you would expect.
Yes.
Yeah? It looks like a black tea, doesn't it?
Yes.
Interesting taste, huh? Very different.
How can I say? Fresh?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's not, there's no bitterness there.
Yeah. Fruity?
Because you see, when you roast it medium, you don't get any of the bitterness. So you can actually taste all of the individual tastes. When you look at a packet of coffee, on the back of the packet of coffee, there's a description of how the coffee tastes. You know, a bit of chocolate, a bit of lemon, a bit of citric, all these fantastic tastes. Yeah, and normally you cannot taste any of them. Yeah. Now the reason you can't taste them is because the coffee has been profiled and graded on a medium roast. But most coffee commercially is roasted darker. When you roast it dark, you hide all the imperfections in the coffee and just simply turn the coffee bitter. So all you taste is the bitterness of the coffee. It's roasting it lighter and just generally.
Okay.
Okay, take care, my
Thank
friend.
you.
Be
I will
safe.
see you.
Thank you.
지금 한 3시간 만에 커피 투어가 끝이 났는데 굉장히 유익한 시간이었습니다. 굉장히 유익한 시간이었는데 저보다 설명을 영어로 듣다 보니까 머리가 좀 아파. 급격하게 너무 피곤해. 결국 종합하자면 우리가 마시는 커피가 만들어지는 과정은 커피를 채취하고 껍질을 까고 물에 넣어서 씻거나 아니면 그대로 태양에 말려서 다시 껍질을 까고 구워서 간 뒤에 커피를 내려서 우리가 마시게 되는 겁니다. 근데 좀 아쉬운 게 제가 직접 좀 커피를 채취했으면 좋았을 텐데 이게 우기 때 10월 11월 달쯤에 커피를 채취를 한다고 하니까 아마 그때쯤 오는 게 커피 투어가 좀 더 풍성해지지 않을까. 오늘은 여기까지입니다. 차오. 밤에도 참 예쁘죠? 영어로 설명을 3시간이나 들었더니 좀 지쳐가지고 숙소 가서 좀 씻고 쉬다가 밥 먹으러 나왔습니다. 그래도 좀 고무적인 거는 제가 여행을 처음 시작할 때만 해도 영어로 얘기를 30분만 들어도 지쳐서 진짜 그날 아무것도 못했거든요. 근데 이제는 뭐 3시간을 들어도 좀만 쉬면은 다시 활동할 수 있게 됐어요. 이게 아마 스페인어 수업을 영어로 들어서 그런 것 같은데 하루에 5시간씩. 아니 스페인어 학원 갔는데 스페인어는 안 늘고 영어만 늘었네. 근데 뭐 뭐라도 늘었으니까 좋은 게 좋은 거 아니겠어요? Hola. Bien, muy bien.
La foto.
Foto.
Eso.
비데오. 얘가 예쁘네. Un churrasco
Que termine medio, así, bien hecho.
menos medio.
Menos de medio.
Sí. Gracias.
¿Ok? Picante y chimichurri.
Sí.
Camino.
이게 슈아스코라는 브라질 요리입니다. 뭐 알고 시킨 건 아니지만 맛있어 보이는데? 맛은 뭐 그냥 잘 익힌 등심 스테이크 맛이에요. 근데 좀 질기다. 어우 진짜 맵네. 되게 괜찮은데 딱 하나 아쉬운 점이 있다면 이거는 위스키랑 먹어야 제맛인 그런 맛입니다. 맥주가 좀 아쉽네. 아예 생짜로 고기로만 배 채운 것도 오랜만이네요. 만족스러웠습니다. 배가 터질 것 같아.